Another day and another rumour to talk about, but in this case I should probably say rumours, because there's a bunch of rumours to talk about in this video, mainly Horus Heresy based for you Horus Heresy people, but also Warhammer 40,000 as well, because there is some linkage to the apparent new Terminators, which we've been talking about now on this channel for a while. So let's jump in, and as always, let's get waffling. Now, let me just say before we jump into the core of these rumours that the rumours themselves are not coming from sources who I know. Everyone knows that when I do my rumour videos, I either make content of other people's rumours and talk about like the legitness of them, or I talk about my rumours. When I say my rumours, as rumours from my sources. I just want to make everyone aware that this is not coming from me. This is coming from a website called Fayet212. I'll include the link in the description if you want to go and check it out for yourself and read it and everything like that. But just to make you aware, they're not from my sources. So again, if you want to believe what you want to believe, it's entirely down to you. So let's talk about these rumours. I'm going to include the little bullet points at the bottom that I'm going to be going through. So yeah, if you want to read it along with me, you can do that. Again, I'm just going to read it straight from this website. So it says here, the first bullet point, no assault or breaches or otherwise close combat infantry before summer. Now, this is related, of course, to the Horus Heresy, and what I've been hearing when it comes to the Horus Heresy is that basically Games Workshop at this moment in time are mainly focusing on vehicles and vehicle variants. For example, we've already seen it now with like the Spartan and all the other variants that fit on that Spartan chassis. Same with, other tanks. I think it was the Scorpius, that's the same as the Rhino in plastic, etc., etc., etc. That's what they've been focusing on. That's not to say that there's not going to be infantry stuff. Again, we'll get into certain Mark II armors and stuff like that, which it mentions here in a second. But yes, that is the main focus at this moment in time. That's what I've heard. So, there is some type of legitimacy to that. But I definitely think Games Workshop will be investing in more infantry-based stuff very, very soon. This year, maybe. Next year, definitely. Next bullet point. It says here, and this is kind of the big one, to be fair with you. New Terminators of the Indomitors pattern, which can be used for 40k, and it's got in like a bracket option for Crux Terminators on the shoulder pads, or without them. A separate sprue/box for close combat weapons. Now, when it comes to the Terminators, this is the huge talking point. And I just want to clear some stuff up as well, because I'm getting like kind of misquoted. Maybe that's down to me, to be fair, because I'm not the best at explaining things. I went to Manchester state school. We can only go so far in the world. So when it comes to the new Terminators, from what I've heard from sources whom I trust, is that new Terminators are coming, right? They are coming. In terms of whether they're Primaris Terminators, Firstborn Terminators, literally no idea. Apparently, they're just going to be the Terminators that we've got now, but a more chunkier version. But I don't know if, like, Firstborn are going to be in there, Primaris are going to be in there. Both of them are going to be in there, right? I literally don't know. I'm just talking about the models at this stage, not the lore and, apparent keywords, if the keyword stuff does turn out to be like it's getting rid of, as we've spoken about. I just have no idea about that. So please, if you're mentioning that, just say like Valrak doesn't know if the Firstborn or the Primaris. He's just saying new Terminators are coming. Again, when it comes to this, it does say here that it can be used for both 30k and 40k, because it's giving you the option of the Crux Terminatus symbol. Now, that does make sense lore-wise, because the Indomitors pattern armor was available during the Horus Heresy and stuff like that. It wasn't really out there that much. It was the Cataphractic Terminator armor, which was more used, and other forms of Terminator armor. But yes, lore-wise, that could be used, and it could make sense in terms of using that in both 30k and 40k, and maybe Games Workshop want to try and do that interchangeable kit, because to be fair, if they do that, right, that is probably going to be a big seller, because Horus Heresy players are going to buy it, 40k players are buy it, basically Space Marine players are going to buy it, and the Space Marine player base is a huge player base to sell to. So maybe that is what they're going to be doing going forward with these new Terminators. Now, moving on, but staying with the Terminator talk, it goes on to say there's going to be a new Terminator Praetor with Indomitors pattern armor in plastic, which comes with parts to show off the Chaos influences and could maybe use as a Chaos Lord in 40k. Now, the big thing there is the plastic statement. Now, every character that we've had in 30k, or like a specialist type of character freighters and stuff like that. Actually, I'm thinking Fafnir Ram wasn't resin, but they've mostly been resin. That's what Forge World are doing now. They're doing like the cool looking models, and the general models are being made in plastic by Games Workshop. Now, the big rumor, of course, is that 10th edition is supposed to be Space Marines versus Tyranids as a starter box set. Apparently, the new Terminators are going to be inside that 10th edition box set, which leads me to believe that they will have some type of Terminator HQ, maybe leading those Terminators, you know, just like we had with, do you know when we had the Blade Guard and we got like the Blade Guard Captain and like the Blade Guard Lieutenant? Maybe something like that in terms of, you know, Terminator stuff. So maybe that's why it's in plastic, because it's mainly made for the 40k range rather than the 30k range, and then you can just, you know, just take it and use it in that 30k range. That's where I'm going with it. The last part about it maybe could be used as like a Lord, a Chaos Lord for 40k. I don't know. I don't think we've ever had that before. What I do know is that obviously when they design these models, it's a CAD-based system, computer aided design, if I'm not mistaken, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. So basically what they do, they have like a general sculpt of a model, and they can just like add bits to it, take bits off and stuff like that. I think we've kind of seen it with some of the models that they've done, right? If you look across the ranges, you can see like a model more or less has the same type of pose than another model from another range, and everything like that. It's out there. I just can't find the evidence to find it right about now, but I'm sure someone can find it and post it in the comment section for me. Now, right at the bottom, this is kind of the big thing as well. It says new 2 army box sets in August. And the big thing it says here, it says, with Mark II power armor and a complete new close combat dreadnought pattern. Again, very, very interesting when it comes to this, because I heard ages ago that Mark II and Mark V were already done in plastic. And now when, again, I just want to break this down about when I hear about this stuff, because Games Workshop works years and years in advance. Like if you go back on my channel right now, there's a video from like 3 years ago when I'm talking about Angron's return and, you know, rumors about Angron's return. A lot of people are like, shut up, Valrak, you idiot. Yeah, you clickbait rack and noob rack and stuff like that. But what happens, of course, that rumor was coming from like the first stages of the design, and it takes all those years to like do the final design, get it to the manufacturers, you know, the factory, print it out. When I say print it out, you know, mold it out, everything like that. So this is how long it takes. So when I hear stuff like Mark II and Mark V are done in plastic, it could be at that stage where it's at, you know, 3 years out, you know, 2 to 3 years out, something like that. I'm not saying it's happening this year or next week or anything like that. This is what I try to get across to people, but sometimes, of course, that's lost in the whispers of the warp, and it's lost in translation with people, you know, because someone says something and someone adds a little bit more to that and adds a little bit more to that, and before you know it, the rumor that you put out there is completely different. That comes back to you. Kind of like maybe this in a way. What normally happens in the rumorverse is it's basically an echo chamber. So if I'll say something, it bounces around other people, and then it comes back to be a little bit different, and I'm like, so it's that, but something else now. But most of the time, it's like come from a certain person that's just been bounced around and going back to that person, but changed a little bit. So please be aware when it comes to stuff like that. Again, back to the main topic. Mark II, again, I've heard it's done. It's just a matter of when rather than if. 2 new army box sets. That does make sense. GW love to do box sets, right? It would make sense if they do a Mark II box set. I'm sure that would sell like hotcakes. I'd buy one, because Mark II, Mark III are some of my favorite armors when it comes, I should say my favorite marks when it comes to Space Marine armor. And there we go. That's basically all I've got to say on these rumors. I appreciate everyone who's been sending me this link. Please, no more, right? No more. I've covered it now. I'm going to leave it at that. If I hear anything else about certain things, everything, of course, I'll make videos and stuff like that. I actually do have another video planned very, very soon about the release date of 10th edition, more in depth and with information, which I 100% trust, which points to the exact date of release, but I'll do that further on in the week or something. Right, enough waffling. As always, thank you for coming, thank you for watching. If you got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below, and we can have a nice little chin wag down there as we always do. See you now, have a great day, and bye bye.